I'm talking about Hugo Chavez and his campaign to destroy freedom and democracy throughout Latin America.
In Washington, this is the rhetoric most often heard about Venezuela.
Chavez is making himself the Osama bin Laden and the Ahmadinejad of the Western Hemisphere.
Chavez himself could develop a nuclear weapon.
We need a systematic policy to change the regime in Venezuela.
But just a few miles from the U.S. Capitol, Venezuela isn't seen as the enemy. Activists and community organizers like Reverend Graylan Hagler are seizing on the spirit of the Bolivarian Revolution.
We need a kind of a Bolivarian revolution that really addresses the ills that need to be taken care of within the society.
Hagler says he views poverty as a systemic issue, much like Hugo Chavez does. He fought to keep D.C.'s only public hospital open and converted this Exxon super gas station into affordable senior housing here across the street from his church.
Activist Benjamin Woods says he stands in solidarity with Venezuela's president.
It's Hugo Chavez, who's the leader of Venezuela, and on the back it actually says Socialismo, 21st century.
Woods says he's working to bring the principles of Chavez's Bolivarian circles to his own community organization in working-class D.C.
If you take like the neighborhood associations, I think that exist in Columbia Heights and Parkview, where say I live, which is up the road, I think they would have much more power and say-so in the government instead of many people feeling alienated.
Under Chavez, Venezuela was the only country on track to achieve the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, halving poverty in 12 years.
One of the things that we can learn from Venezuela is that everything is not built upon the idea of how much you can make and how much you can keep for yourself.
A lesson activists say President Obama isn't eager to learn.
Right now, politicians have a tendency to only talk about the middle class and never really to talk about those who are poor, those who are marginalized.
I'd like $10.
The U.S. announced $13.9 billion in cuts to food stamp programs, as Venezuela fed $15 million through its Mercal program.
Any health history?
And while President Obama cut maternal and child health care benefits, 17 million out of 26 million Venezuelans now receive free health care. Congress also proposed $5 billion in cuts to education, while Chavez's education programs have included 4 million Venezuelans, a quarter of whom receive educational scholarships. And despite the anti-Venezuelan rhetoric on Capitol Hill,
oppression, aggression, terrorism, and drugs, these are the tools of a thugocrat.
With 1 in 6 Americans living below the poverty line, some say there's much to learn from a country that focuses on social spending. Keelan Ford, RT, Washington, D.C.